Are there moving vehicles in your business? The transportation of equipment, the transportation of materials, and the transportation of people from one place to another. Every year there are over 5,000 accidents involving transport in the workplace. This resulted in 50 people being killed last year. People can be knocked down, run over, or crushed against vehicles or fixed parts of vehicles. For example, cars, HGVs, lift trucks, tractors, plant and trailers. People can also fall from vehicles, whether going on or off, working at height, or when loading or unloading. I'm going to share some best practices when thinking about transport safety in the workplace. Think about whether there is an easier, safer way of doing the job. When carrying out a risk assessment, consider all workplace transport activities, such as loading and unloading. Look carefully at all the vehicles and people moving around your workplace. Mark the traffic and pedestrian movements on a plan so you can see where pedestrians and vehicles interact. Identify improvements that will reduce the contact between pedestrians and vehicles. Remember to include less frequent tasks, for example, cleaning. Make sure you consider delivery drivers, as they are particularly vulnerable. You can do all of this by considering the following areas. Create a safe site. Plan your workplace so that pedestrians are safe from vehicles. Provide a one-way system if you can. Provide separate routes for pedestrians and vehicles where possible. Avoid reversing where possible. Provide appropriate crossing points where pedestrians and traffic meet. Use highway code signs to indicate vehicle routes, speed limits, pedestrian crossings, a traffic light system. Make sure lighting is adequate where people and vehicles are working. Make sure road surfaces are firm and even. Make sure there are safe areas for loading and unloading. Try to provide separate car parking for visitors, as they may not know your site. Safe vehicles. Employers should make sure that the vehicle is maintained in an efficient state, in efficient working order, and in good repair, making sure that work equipment, which include vehicles, is suitable for its purpose. Take account of working conditions and assess the risk to health and safety of using chosen work equipment. Maintain vehicles in good repair, particularly the braking system, steering, tyres, lights, mirrors, and specific safety systems. Remove the need for people to climb up on vehicles where possible, for example by providing gauge and controls that are accessible from ground level. Reduce the risk of falling when people have to climb onto a vehicle or trailer by providing well-constructed ladders, non-slip walkways and guardrails where possible. Provide reversing aids such as CCTV where appropriate. Ensure anyone that is operating vehicles are competent. Licenses, certificates, qualifications, that they have medicals that deem them fit to operate the vehicles, and part of the contract of employment it states any health issues that could affect vehicle operation to be disclosed. Provide information, instruction, training and supervision to all drivers on a regular basis, updating when new legislation, technology, process change. Make sure any drivers that visit the site are supervised at all times. Ensure there is a drug and alcohol policy in place. Encourage vehicle operators to take part in alertness training and fitness activities, ensuring they are both mentally and physically sharp. Daily checks can be carried out by drivers, checking tyres, lights and indicators at the start of every shift. They will need instruction or training on carrying out appropriate checks and reporting problems. Employers may find it helpful to give drivers a list of daily checks to sign off for their vehicles. Each vehicle you purchase or hire should come with a handbook giving manufacturer's guidance on regular maintenance. Planned maintenance helps to prevent failures during use. It should be thorough, regular and frequent, enough to meet the manufacturer's guidelines and common sense. Pay special attention to brakes, steering, tyres, mirrors and fittings that allow the driver to see clearly, for example, CCTV cameras, windscreen washers and wipers, warning devices, for example horns, reversing alarms or lights, ladders, steps or walkways, pipes, pneumatic or hydraulic hoses, rams, outriggers, lifting systems and other moving parts or systems. For example, control interlocks to prevent the vehicle or its equipment from moving unintentionally, racking, securing points for ropes. Safety precautions when maintaining vehicles. Apply brakes, choke wheels, start the engine with brakes on and in neutral gear, prop or support raised parts, use a tyre cage or other restraining device when inflating tyres on split rim wheels, remove tyres from wheels before welding, cutting or heating work begins on a wheel or wheel rim. Beware of the risk of explosion when draining and repairing fuel tanks and from battery gases. Never drain or fill fuel tanks when the equipment is too hot or in a confined space or over a pit. Avoid short-circuiting batteries. Charged batteries should be charged in well-ventilated areas. Suitable personal protective equipment should be provided and used for handling battery acid. Make sure that maintenance staff cannot breathe dust from brake and clutch lining pads. Only allow people who have received the relevant information, instruction and training to do maintenance work. Retrofitting, fitting further features to existing vehicles, needs careful planning. Retrofitting must not significantly weaken the chassis or body structure. Do not consider drilling holes in the chassis and welding to it without the approval of the original manufacturer. Retrofitting should also take account of the structure of the vehicle. Avoid sensitive points such as fuel tanks. Your specification for safe workplace vehicles should include answers to these key questions. Does the driver have good all-round visibility? What warning systems, such as horns and lights, are fitted? Are the seat belts and restraints safe and comfortable, and do they meet the needs of the job? What safeguards will prevent people from coming into contact with dangerous parts of the vehicle, such as power takeoffs, chain drives, exposed hot exhaust pipes? Can drivers get in and out of the cab safely and easily? What protection is there from bad weather, extremes of temperature, dirt, dust and fumes? Is there a way to prevent injury if the vehicle overturns? For example, roll protection, operator restraints or falling object protection. Is there a way to prevent the vehicle from moving? For example, by applying brakes and removing the keys. Is the vehicle bright enough to be seen? Do the vehicle lights provide enough light for the driver? Is your organisation doing this at the moment? Are you doing this at the moment?